What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today's the 21st of December. This is the time of year where 2K starts to ramp up decent content because they know this is around the time when new players start to come into the game. Oh wait, no, they're not. There's no good content here. So lads, if you guys saw today, they released these 75 packs. You know what? I don't even mind the 75 packs. Like, for some reason, Durant's in them. Last week's Moments card. Like, I'm even not that annoyed with these packs. Like, these packs are actually really good. Like, as far as packs go, these are the best packs we have in all of my team. However, something that you guys maybe didn't notice, there are a grand total of 0. And I repeat, zilch, nada, 0 Moments cards. And with 0 Moments cards, what does that mean? Well, it just shows what we've always shown through the years, that like 2K have not been able to, since 2K20, when they started with the juiced cards that had nothing to do with the real NBA, we have drifted further and further away of any sort of historical accuracy to basketball, which I think, I'm not sure how big a problem it is, but I think this can be a big problem because while there are a lot of people playing my team for the fantasy aspect, there's no link to the real NBA. There's none whatsoever. So lads, this season, we got a half decent batch of Moments cards right here, which was, and then that was 2 weeks ago. In the last 2 weeks, since the 7th of December, we have got 2. Kevin Durant, who was a copy and paste of a card we already had, and Quentin Grimes. We've had 2. We have had 2 Moments cards in the last 2 weeks. We had no Moments cards yesterday, which made sense. I don't understand why 2K don't bring them out. And like maybe, like I get it, like in terms of the big players. But this is the one thing that's kind of annoys me, is like, if a big player doesn't have a big game, 2K don't give out any Moments cards. It's really confusing, where it's like, whereas if we look at, say, let's look at Season freaking 1. Let's look at Season 1. Obviously, no one in their right mind's buying Patsia Bielitsa. Where's Duarte? So Duarte, sorry, the last day of Season 1. Chris Duarte comes out. So after no one buys packs of Bielitsa, they're all like, okay, yeah, probably not the greatest idea to put him in these packs. So they go and give us a Chris Duarte card. And do you want to know what the difference between Chris Duarte and the other cards were? He came as a locker code. He wasn't good enough to put in packs, but he was a locker code. People were able to like get the Chris Duarte card. And he was a Pacers fan. He was a fan of Duarte. Managed to get the card by locker code. And if you guys look last year, so if we look at last year's cards, there was, I know Larry was a locker code, but there was an entire section called Moments Rewards, which 2K have scrapped this year. If you guys don't remember what Moments Rewards were, Valanciunas wasn't good enough to be really put in packs. He became a locker code. Kenrick Williams was a code. Norman Powell was a code. Westbrook was a code. Jeremy Grant was a code. Enes Kanter was an agenda. You completed a bunch of agendas and you got Enes Kanter. Robert Williams was a code. Domantas Sabonis was agenda, and these two obviously were locker codes. So we got a bunch of Moments Reward cards, and these guys were free. And if you're looking saying, oh, they only did this later on in the year, like the very first batch of Moments cards we had Jonas Valanciunas in it. So like if you look at cards out on the 14th of January, these were the very first 3 Moments cards. So they had 2. They had Luka Doncic and then they had Alexander Walker. And then they had like the kind of the sense to think, okay, these 2 cards are in packs. A lot of people are going to open packs for Luka, but for the people that don't open packs, this is no incentive to bring people onto the game. But then they gave out of Jonas Valanciunas, and they did that with almost every Moments drop. So if we look at updates from NBA 2K21, if we look at updates, there was a Moments Reward card in almost every Moments drop. So we go to the 14th of January, there's a Moments Reward Jonas Valanciunas. We go to, when's the next Moments drop? Here. The 21st of January, a week later, there's a Jeremy Grant. The 28th of January, a week later than that, there's 2. There is, in fact, a locker code Norman Powell and an agenda Domantas Sabonis. So you have to complete a bunch of challenges with this card, which is even better. I know they slowed down with it, just like they slowed down with Moments cards in general. But again, These ones right here, 11th of February, some really good cards here. We got a Kendrick Williams locker code. Trying to find moments batches. There were no moments rewards in this batch by the looks of things. There were not. But while there were no moments rewards on this day, there was a grindable Gilbert Arenas that came out on this day. So it seemed like if you look at NBA 2K20 and people are like, why am I getting so angry at what 2K are doing right now? It's because, sorry, in 2K21, they literally did it the right way. Like almost every time, especially from like season 5 onwards, almost every time that there was, say, a bunch of cards added into packs, like these were in the super packs, there was a grindable card in TLC. And then in the end, these two cards always ended up being grindable after I made the big rant video and went berserk at 2K for putting this card here behind a paywall. And they did that like every Tuesday. So I'm not expecting this type of content now. But what we should be expecting is, like, Sadiq Bey has had some serious games. Sadiq Bey's dropping 30 in a bunch of games. Drew Holiday dropped 40. Like, why is there no moments card for Drew Holiday dropping 40? Like, why couldn't you? I get it. You don't want to just add Drew Holiday to these packs because Drew Holiday's not going to make any more money, and Drew Holiday in packs isn't going to bring anyone else into the game. And I agree with that statement. But why Drew Holiday is an agenda award? Just like we have a Drew Holiday right now. Why not have an amethyst? So Drew Holiday, we have an amethyst Drew Holiday, 91 overall. All you have to do is a 92 overall diamond moments, 3 Hall of Fame badge Drew Holiday, keep the same SIGs. Bump his 3-ball up a little bit, keep the same defense, keep everything else. That is a card that people are going to actually think, okay, yeah, you've done well enough there. It's something to get, and it's something to do. Even if it's not the greatest card in the world, it's a more than usable card, and people will be happy with it. Whereas now we're just sitting there thinking like, what the hell happened to moments cards? You've gotten 2 in 2 weeks, not 2 badges, 2 individual moments cards in 2 weeks, and like, I just don't get it. Like I thought, like these packs are actually really good. I'm not complaining with the NBA 75 packs because I actually think that those being essentially super packs at MT, in terms of like the whales that open packs anyway, this is where you're getting your best value. But I just hate it. I hated it last year and I hated it this year. And the game's moving further and further away from actual NBA. And it was all seen from, we've seen certain situations where it's like, where we've seen, I don't know, a young LeBron James having like 70 speed, where it's like, no, because if you guys remember back in the day, so we're going all the way back to 2K19. You know what? I'm going to even go to 2K20 to explain this point. So if you guys don't remember 2K20, there was a whole bunch of LeBron James cards. So this is when, like, I'm going to say the pandemic is when everything started to just nothing to do with real basketball, because they realized they don't need the NBA to do anything about it. Because if we look right here, in LeBron James, there's the multi-dimensional LeBron James. And you look at his speed rating, he has 90 speed because this is young LeBron. And then you see old LeBron, where he gets 81 speed. And I think this is like Miami LeBron. And fair enough, he gets 93 speed because he's Miami LeBron. But like, this is the one situation where you're looking, 87 LeBron is faster than 90 LeBron because this is young LeBron, this is old LeBron. That's the way my team used to be. Even in 2K, as far back as 2K20, as recently as 2K20. They realized once with the pandemic, they probably made record numbers in 2K20, but there just has to be some form of realism, because the way my team's going right now, it's alienating everyone who actually cares about the NBA. Like this, I will always say it, that this mode has nothing to do with the NBA. This mode has nothing to do with the NBA. Like Taco Falls maybe the best card we've ever seen on my team. And I don't even mind that to an extent. Like, I don't mind glitch cards that much. Like, a lot of people hate them, but I don't mind them. But the thing is like, it's alienating, the lack of moments cards is alienating part of the fan base. What used to be the most exciting thing back in the day, I'm looking at 2K Empty Center right here because this was the original database. If you remember back in the day in like 2K, why not even say 2K18? In 2K18, people used to be so excited when a player would have a big game. Because a player would have a big game and all of a sudden 2K are dropping a whole bunch of moments cards for guys who have big games. So people would be watching the NBA thinking, oh, great, they had a big game, they're getting a moments card in 2K. But that's no longer the case. Nobody gets cards anymore. They just don't get cards. Your favorite player could drop 40 points in a game, but instead of actually like being excited thinking maybe they're going to get a moments card tomorrow, it has to be assumed that they're not going to get a moments card because 2K that week decided not to give any moments cards. And that's just the annoying thing, because Like, am I someone that's that far either way? Not really. And I don't even mind what 2K are doing, because again, there are a section in the audience that hate the way the new 2K games are going. And there are a section that love it. Like, I'm somewhere in between. I don't mind the unrealistic cards, but I do want the game to have something to do with basketball. Like, this was a decent drop. This was a decent drop of players. But what never made sense was that Jaren Jackson Jr., despite getting 2 steals in his moments game, got a 43 steal. So it's clear that whoever gave these stats didn't even watch the game Jaren Jackson Jr. played. They were just told, give Jaren Jackson Jr. a moments card. And what used to happen back in these days was that if a player got a bunch of steals, they would have a high steal rating. If a player didn't shoot the 3-ball well, they would have a little bit lower 3-ball. I get it, you can't do that anymore because you've released flash cards week 1. But there has to be some link with the NBA. There has to be something. And then, like, I remember back in the day, we used to always wait, because 2K always take off around Christmas. 2K always take time off around Christmas. But they released 34 moments cards right after their break. And when 2K used to take a break of moments cards, they used to release a serious amount of them. Whereas we don't see that anymore. We just don't. And I think there's so many things that have improved in the game since then. So I'm not like, this is not like a make my team great again type ridiculous thing that some people, crusade that some people are on. Because I believe that most things are better. But like when we look at this one specific aspect of the game, we look back and then like, it got worse as the year went on last year. During the entire playoffs. So pre-2K20, because there was no playoffs in 2K20, the most hyped sets ever were playoff moments. People used to sit there watching playoff games thinking if a player had a big game, they get a moments card. Whereas in NBA 2K20, that never happened. So in 2K21, if we look at the updates for this game right here, where are the 2K21? Is 2K21 update? No. So if we look at 2K21 updates, we only got one batch of moments cards during the entire playoffs, and they were in like the middle of May. Like this was it. Like if you guys look here, this was on the 2nd of June, and we're getting moments from the 23rd of May. We're getting a moments from 9 days, from 10 days earlier. Like these are the only 4 moments cards we got, playoff moments cards, from what used to be the most hyped set. So that kind of summed it up. Like last year they started off, I think, really well, like the Valanciunas and things, and they progressively got worse. And this year with moments cards, I didn't even mind when they started off with Duarte. The fact there was no moments reward card section there was a bit of an iffy one. I liked some of the things they did with prime times. I like the fact that it seemed every Monday we get 4 moments cards and then we get more moments cards sprinkled in throughout the week. But now it seems like they're moving more and more away from that. And I would be shocked. Like last year, again, we went 5 weeks without getting a moments card at one stage. And that's just what's happening again, is that we're just not going to get them. And I would be, and again, it's just a lack of communication. I think they need to bring moments of the week back. I think it'll make them more money. I genuinely think releasing 5 or releasing 10 moments cards every single Monday, or 10's pretty overkill. 5 moments cards every single Monday, and then add them into NBA 75 packs, so that more people are inclined to buy NBA 75 packs the next day. I think that would be the perfect way. So you've got, for 2K's perspective, you're making money off people who get the initial batch of moments cards, and then also because of this NBA 75 set, even if there are no hype names, people are still going to buy the 75 packs the next day, and they might be more inclined to because there's moments cards there. For me, it seems like anytime there's a situation where with 2K where they're thinking, okay, we don't have a high enough rated player, let's just not give any content. Whereas there is room for content. I get it, there's not room for pack content to make money, but there is room for certain types of content to bring more players into the game. And at the end of the day, if there are more players in the game, if there are more players playing the game, there are more players available to open packs when that time comes. Because right now, I have to say this, and I hate having to say this, because I would love for there to be more things to do on my team, but there's no point in playing this game anymore. There's a domination, nobody cares, but there's just actually no point in playing most of this game. I play Clutch Time a little bit for fun, but as in, if I want to sit down and play the game for an hour or two and have fun, I will do that. But like, there used to be situations where we used to sit there at 4 p.m. almost every day and think, oh, what's new? Let's try to log on to the game at this time. Let's try. Where it became kind of a thing where we would constantly look at this game, and that's gone. And it's gone from everybody. There's no more, oh, let's wait around, let's see what 2K are bringing out into the game. It's now just assumed nothing is coming. And surely, again, I don't have the numbers, but surely the fact that nobody cares about my team news anymore, and it's not just for me, obviously my views are dropping, but my views are eventually going to drop. Like the Ty's views are dropping, everyone's views are dropping. There is nothing on my team. There is nobody currently on Twitch streaming my team. And I get it that there is not, it's probably isn't an exact like science how many people are like playing the game, how many people are streaming the game, how many people are watching the game. There's no exact science. But there has to be some sort of a correlation between that and how many people are playing the game. There has to be. Especially tips and tutorial videos. The more you're playing the game, the more views they get, and they're tanking as well. So, look, I think my team, I don't know behind the scenes, but I would be shocked if 2K is doing well engagement-wise. And I don't know. Maybe it's something they should try. Maybe moments reward cards is something they should try. Maybe specific agendas is something they should try. Maybe just not doing what they're doing right now is something they should try. Because whatever the hell they're doing right now, I would be shocked if it's working. If it is working and I'm completely wrong, if the backroom numbers, if the background numbers that we don't see are shown and all the metrics are showing, oh, my team's in a brilliant place and I'm wrong, then I'll put my hand up and admit I'm wrong. But it's highly unlikely. I've played enough. I've studied this game mode more than anyone else. And I'm not going to say I played the game more than anyone else. I'm not going to say I'm the best player in the world, but I've studied this mode more than anyone else. That's the only reason I've been able to make it a living. Is that I know the ins and outs of every single My Team game mode there's ever been. And this feels like a bad spot. This feels like a really bad spot. It feels like the way Season 6 did last year, except Season 6 was a super high. Season 5 was a high, and the start of Season 6 was a high, that the middle to the end of Season 6 was such a low that it felt bad. This is a low coming off Dead Season. Like, this is normally when we come out of Dead Season, but now we are staying in Dead Season for even longer. So yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. I don't even mind these 75th packs. I don't even mind playing my team. I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, if I was a casual player who played this game a couple of hours a week, I'd love it. And honestly, I don't think this is a bad game. I really don't. But I'm sitting there being like I don't really play the game anymore that much. Like, I play it enough that I've tried out all the cards, and I've plenty of videos where I can speak on cards. But in terms of actual playing the game, like, I really don't play it much anymore. And I know that's a lot of the case. Like talking to Unbeatable Jacob, who I do the podcast with, he's not planning on plugging in his PlayStation until January, and he's confident he's not going to miss out on anything. And I would be confident as well. There's just not a lot to do. Unless you're going for Dom, and even if you beat Dom, like, there's just not a lot to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.